Hello there, you're now with me, Hendy Gui, and welcome to your 5 p.m. English News on TVS. Let's dive into today's topics. Civil servants, especially those in Sarawak, are told to be proactive in facing the mounting challenges presented not only by the COVID-19 pandemic but also by technological shifts. Chief Minister Dato' Patinggi Abang Johari Tun Openg said civil servants need to embed new ways of doing things in order to be innovative.
That as the government, we must be agile and responsive to the need of the citizens. At the same time, we should be proactive and foresighted in order to be innovative. This is what I would expect from all government agencies, which it is high time for Sarawak government to be innovative government.
The Chief Minister noted that one overbearing barrier to innovation is the silo mentality of government staff. That is the unwillingness to share information or knowledge between employees or across different departments.
We cannot create public value in isolation. Better outcomes need to be developed collaboratively. This is relevant not just the state government agencies, but to the federal government agencies as well.
He called on civil servants to be more collaborative and working together across all sectors, and urged them to get a better understanding of the peoples and businesses at the root level.
Now, Budget 2022 will be expansionary and lay the foundations for the government's wider and longer-term reform efforts, with sustainability continuing to be a major focus. It will be focusing on the 3 Rs, namely speeding up recovery, strengthening economic resilience, and catalyzing reform. Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Seri Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz said, based on engagement sessions across numerous sectors, the government would continue to map budget initiatives to the Sustainable Development Goals. In addition, there would be increased focus on sustainability and improving the resilience of Malaysia's environment and water assets, following increased focus towards environmental, social and governance, ESG, net zero emissions targets, and further development of the circular economy. The government would also improve the labour market by focusing on hiring incentives in addition to subsidizing wages, while enhancing fiscal prudence by improving procurement and debt management process, while enhancing tax enforcement measures. In a spirit of transparency, the Finance Ministry MOF recently introduced a pre-budget statement and 4 consultation papers, a first in Malaysia's history. To date, MOF had received over 1,000 responses and comments on Budget 2022. Through continuous cooperation among every member of Keluarga Malaysia, the country is now ready to be back on track as an investment hub for both regional and international investors. To date, safe bubbles for all businesses with new norms are being safely put in place. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said this was driven by creative and innovative methods implemented by the government to encourage investments.
The 12th Malaysia Plan has outlined 9 focus areas in revitalizing Malaysia's investment. Among others are in rejuvenating economic growth, strengthening economic enablers, improving social security, eradicating hardcore poverty, and narrowing income gaps throughout the nation. The uniqueness of multiracial Malaysia with diverse social strata has long provided opportunities for investors. Different race, for instance, would need different set of necessity. In another comprehensions, more products and services are potentially marketable in this country.
Additionally, Malaysia provides the most conducive environment for the business communities to invest, among others, being the gateway to ASEAN market through Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP.
The 15 countries within the RCEP alone are generating almost 30% of global GDP. It has been estimated that their overall aggregate of GDP income would increase by $174 billion by 2030. This will give our corporations and micro, small and medium enterprise MSMEs a more level playing field while facilitating access to larger regional markets.
This climate of growth is further strengthened by Malaysia's consistent improvement in the field of digital infrastructure. In past years, Malaysia had witnessed rapid growth in the digital economy, online businesses, and cashless transactions. As for international stage, Ismail Sabri said Malaysia remains as an active key player in comprehensive and progressive agreements for Trans-Pacific Partnership. The international economic collaboration provides more than 500 million participations with a combined GDP of $10 trillion. Meanwhile, he said an essential component of the country's future lies in the Malaysian Digital Economy Blueprint or MyDigital and National Fourth Industrial Revolution 4IR. Commenting further, he said both of these are aligned with the National Policy on Science, Technology and Innovation 2021 to 2030, which aims to develop Malaysia into a high-tech nation by 2030.
With the 4IR, we aim to create an ecosystem within our economy that will be led by science, technology, and innovation. It will facilitate local technology development by creating economic opportunities and developing talents in areas such as artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, and blockchain technologies.
To date, Ismail Sabri said the public and the private sectors are working together on a shared vision and strategies in ensuring inclusive environmental-friendly economic growth.
Karaket yang memang memiliki sikap degil menyebabkan dirinya dihukum. Namun, Tek merasa kasihan terhadap dirinya itu. Adakah Tek akan membantu Karaket? Saksikan Love Destiny setiap Isnin hingga Khamis 8.45 malam hanya di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan My TV.
Warnailah hidupmu, tampilkanlah bakat baru. Sarawak pasti maju, menginspirasi duniamu. Oh, TVS, oh, TVS, inspirasi duniamu.
Hello， 你好，我是 Brian 李斌。一场新冠肺炎疫情打乱了全世界人的脚步，当然，很多人在这个时候失去了他们的工作，还有他们的收入。不过，也有人在这个疫情时代找到了他们人生全新的出路，还有事业上的第二个春天。每个星期六下午6点15分热报新闻过后，记得锁定 Astro 频道122，还有 My TV， 收看 TVS 的全新中文节目《疫情下的创业故事》，让我们一起在这个后疫情时代积极的向前。
Welcome back. Now, a total of 90.9% or 21,290,960 of the adult population in Malaysia have completed their COVID-19 vaccination as of yesterday, October 13. According to the Ministry of Health's data on the COVID Now portal, 94.9% of the adult population, or 22,230,828 individuals, have received at least one dose of the vaccines. A total of 207,520 doses of vaccines were dispensed yesterday. This brings the total number of doses administered to adults under the National COVID-19 Immunization Program (PICK) since February 24th to 46,252,254. As for teenagers aged 12 to 17 years old, a total of 453,906 individuals, or 14.4% of them, have completed the vaccination, while 75.9%, or 2,352,464 others, have received at least the first dose of the vaccines since the PICK program for the group was launched on September 8. Besides senior citizens and frontliners, other groups will also be given the booster shots. According to Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin, his ministry always strives to provide the best services to the people, especially in the effort to control and deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, Khairi said MOH also plans to start a study on different types of vaccines for the booster shots. The study will be carried out in Sarawak in November 2021 and would be extended to other states after getting approval from the Medical Research and Ethics Committee (MEREC). Meanwhile, MOH guarantees that the supply of vaccines in Malaysia is sufficient for the implementation of additional doses and booster dose. The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, MOTAC, has proposed to the National Security Council, NSC, to open up Langkawi to tourists from several selected countries under the ongoing pilot tourism bubble project. Its Minister Dato Sri Nancy Shukri said the move was to enable Malaysia to revive its economy, which was affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Jadi saya telah mencadangkan supaya dibuka kepada beberapa negara untuk Langkawi saja dahulu untuk projek perintis Langkawi. InsyaAllah kita dengarlah dulu pengumuman daripada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri sebab kita sudah membuka ruang ini kepada pihak luar. Kita mengharapkan lebih ramai lagi akan datang. Ini adalah salah satu daripada cara untuk kita mengembangkan ekonomi kita. Ya.
Earlier, Nancy said between September 16 and October 12, a total of 85,921 people had traveled to Langkawi through the tourism bubble. Based on the feedback from the Malaysian Association of Hotels, the average hotel occupancy rate in Langkawi for the first week this month was 45% at 4- and 5-star accommodations and 21% for 3-star accommodations and below. Now wrapping up the 5 p.m. news, Malaysia has contributed 5 million ringgit to the Palestinian government for the rebuilding of the Al-Rimal Clinic, which also houses the one and only COVID-19 testing laboratory in Gaza. The clinic was damaged by Israeli airstrikes last May. The exchange of notes EON on the contribution was signed by Malaysian Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah and Palestinian Ambassador to Malaysia Walid Abu Ali at the Foreign Ministry Wisma Putra. Saifuddin said the contribution, which is funded by allocation from the National Disaster Relief Trust Fund under the National Disaster Management Agency (NADMA), reflected Malaysia's unwavering support for the government and the people of Palestine. Meanwhile, the Malaysian government has decided to extend predictable long-term contribution to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East UNRWA in support of the agency's efforts to assist Palestinians. In addition to the previous financial contributions to UNRWA, he said the government has allocated $1 million to be disbursed annually in the amount of $200,000 from 2021 until 2025. Apart from financial aid, Saifuddin said Malaysia is also looking into ways of facilitating the Palestinians in terms of education and employment. And that wraps up the 5 p.m. English news on TVS. As usual, don't forget to tune in for the Nightline at 11:30 p.m. with Douglas Elliott. With that, I'm Handy Gui. Stay safe and have a pleasant day.